I took my niece to the zoo last week. She has always been obsessed with animals, and so obviously she was really excited. In fact, it was all she could talk about. As expected, her favourite animal was the polar bear. So much so that on the way out, she stopped by the gift shop to pick up the biggest and softest polar bear toy she could find. And she's been carrying it around with her everywhere she goes ever since. I think she first became interested in animals by watching one of those nature programs, you know, the ones narrated by David Attenborough. It's amazing that you can sit in the comfort of your living room and you can look at these huge deserts in the middle of Africa, or a glacier passing by in an ocean thousands of miles away, or, you know, looking at these jungles in South America. It's easy to forget that these places really exist. But not only that, they exist on this planet that we call home. Did you know that our planet is around 4.5 billion years old? But humans as we know them have only been on this planet for about 200,000 years. Just to put those numbers into context, since our planet first existed, humans have only been on it for about 1% of the time. That's no more than a blip on the radar, a speck on the vast map of history. No more than guests. What do you do if you're a guest somewhere? Say at a friend's house, or you've been invited to a wedding. You show respect, you take care, you're careful not to leave a mess or break anything. After all, you are the guest. I think the question we need to be asking ourselves is, are we being good guests on this planet? Because, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure we are. Let's have a look at the statistics. The planet is getting warmer. This is meaning that the ice caps are melting and sea levels are rising. Water levels on this planet are rising at a rate much faster than they have done for the last 2,000 years. Species of animal that we once took for granted are now under serious threat. The seas and oceans are full of plastic and waste. The weather is becoming more extreme and less predictable. This is meaning that every living thing on this planet is in danger. Do you know what the most worrying part of it is? Too many of us are sat back and not doing anything about it. It can sometimes feel like the odds are stacked against us. Too much damage has already been done and we can't repair it, especially if it's just one person. You know, we can just sit back and watch it all happen. That would be the easier option. We can blame an older generation for creating the mess and just expect a younger generation to clear it up. But that's the kind of attitude that got us into this mess in the first place. In 2018, Greta Thunberg of Sweden spoke at the UN climate conference in Poland. Stood at the podium in front of some of the most powerful and influential leaders of the world, she spoke out against climate injustice. Not asking for change, but demanding it. Many people say that Sweden is just a small country and it doesn't matter what we do, she said. But I've learned that you are never too small to make a difference. Did I mention that Greta was just 15 years old at the time? I guess you're never too young to make a difference either. Each piece of rubbish recycled, every light you switch off as you leave a room, every decision to walk to school rather than going in a car, it can feel like they're not really having an impact. They can feel like drops in the ocean. But drops create ripples, and ripples create waves. Even the smallest actions can inspire others and contribute to a greener and healthier planet. Don't ever feel like your actions are going unnoticed, because the world is watching. My niece and I had so much fun at the zoo. She loved the monkeys, the zebras, the giraffes, but the polar bears were the best. We could have sat there for hours watching them playing and swimming around. You know what the real shame is that as humans, if we carry on this way, a lot of these animals will be extinct by the end of the century. What can you do in your class in your school, in your home, in your city to make a difference. We all live on this one amazing planet. Let's play our part in keeping it that way.